I guess I should start out with the things I'm grateful for. I'm really grateful for my health, my family, my community, the oven timer, and my phone charges pretty fast now. I got a new charger, so that's really nice. I'm grateful for that. There's a lot of stuff I'm grateful for. Socks, socks are definitely something I really appreciate. So I've been staying busy. That's good. And I've been really proud to be here. I'm trying to eliminate certain filler words. I'm not gonna say them out loud, because if I were to do that, then you kind of are going to be listening to that certain word. So today, I had a full day. I'm not one of those guys who likes to brag about their day. I'm not, but I'll tell you about it. There's a difference between telling and bragging. But before we get to that, let's just get in here with a little bit of music. Let's bring the beat up a little bit, and I'm excited to be here, man. Always like to come in here to the song. My day. What was going on with my day? Let me clear off my table here. It's kind of like I gotta have this table. I usually Lysol wipe down my table. I didn't Lysol wipe it down today, I guess. Been slacking. I'll be honest, I've been hitting kind of a slump lately. Not so much like a creative slump or nothing, more so just like an actual slump. And sometimes your routine gets a change, whether that be a new job, new occupation, new something. And I'll be honest, I was sitting on my phone for like 2 hours, man, doing nothing. And there's plenty of things I could have been working on. I could have been folding, doing some mopping, cooked dinner, made my bed. Like, those things I just weren't doing. And it wasn't like I was sitting there depressed. I was just kind of like, wasn't going after it. I didn't feel like myself. And here's my piss poor excuse. For a week and a half, the Ys here in the county I live in just shut down because, they got to give their workers time off. And it was like holiday break for the new year, and they got to get everything in order for the gym. And because they took off, I was like, well, I'm taking a week off. And man, taking a week off that's a dangerous game. Because 1 week turns into 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks, all of a sudden it's a month, then it's 6 months, and then it's a year, and then you gain 30 pounds. And there's nothing wrong with gaining weight if that's what you're wanting to do. I'm not judging anybody's body, but me, I like to be within a certain range. And I let myself fall victim to that for like two weeks. I didn't go to the gym. I was kind of eating like crap, and that's fine. There's time for that. But man, I didn't feel like myself. And you know what the tipping point was? Some people's tipping point is, I couldn't see my toes anymore when I looked down. I was out of breath when I went up the stairs, or there's certain moments that hit them, or they're like, man, I didn't need that third plate. What hit me, actually, to be honest with you, was one night. It was actually the first night of the new year. I was up till 4 a.m. And my routine was kind of off. I wasn't in, tarot or school or nothing. I didn't have anything to do the next day. And I did. I had a dentist appointment. And guess what? I slept through it because I was up late. And you know what I was doing? I was just on my phone scrolling on TikTok. And playing apps and games. I was going through so like when you're in that mode, you just start cycling through these apps like they're candy almost. Like, all right, I'm going to check Twitter, then I'm going to check Facebook, then I'm going to check Insta, then I'm going to check my Snap, then I'm going to check my LinkedIn for no reason, then I'm going to check this, and then I'm going to text someone back or check my email, or it just gets like you just keep doing that for 4 hours and you realize like, dang it, I'm not really doing anything right now. So that was my moment. I woke up and I was like, dang, this has got to change. I woke up feeling sick. So I definitely took a change really quick, and getting back at the gym definitely. And, the main thing was I wasn't able to sleep. Yeah, the phone wasn't helping me at all, but I was like tossing and turning, and I took like 2 naps throughout the day, and it just threw off my whole timer. And I didn't like that. So I definitely had some busier days these past couple of days, and I'm feeling way better. And this is one of the busy things I could do, is being on here and talking to you guys. And I'm glad I can kind of share my ups and downs, because I could sit here and tell you about all the things, whatever, that I'm proud of doing. But there's also moments in my life that I'm like, dang, I've could have done better. But that's the thing about life. You're gonna learn. You're gonna find things that you're gonna have way easier time of doing, and then you're going to have things that are going to be way more difficult. And you know how DJP works. We get a little preachy in the beginning, and then we get to the juicy stuff, And today I kind of had another one of those moments. I was biking, and to be honest with you, I was out of breath. I had to hop off the bike a couple of times and walk the bike. And that those memes and say people are like, why is he walking his bike? It's because I'm tired, dude. That's why I'm walking my bike. I'm out of shape. So next time you see somebody who's walking their bike, just think they're probably out of breath. They needed a breather. And some people will say, hey, Dom, why didn't you just lower the resistance a little bit? I feel like that's a little bit worse for me. And I'm not endorsing quitting and getting off the bike and just walking it, but I was out of shape today. And there's days where you feel more in shape and less in shape, and today was the less in shape for sure. So I got to get back after it, and I'm on a 2-day streak right now as of today, so that's good. I'm gonna start trying to implement like creative, creative streaks too. How people are like, oh, I've been to the gym 2 days. Be like, all right, I did my creativity for the day. So I've been drawing formline designs. I'm actually drawing my girlfriend a turtle. A formline turtle onto a cedar box right now, and it's, oh my gosh, dude, it's awesome. And I love the creativity and the rules that are applied with formline, because obviously I'm a student of it. I'm in the intro. If this was like, I'm not even a beginner. I'm like a beginner's apprentice at this point. Still learning, and that's why I have it behind me, because it pops out to me. Shout out to 8th Gen. This is David Robert Boxley's design, Junior. I love this design, man. This is great, and I got to take his class and talk to some really cool people. But yeah, it's definitely something I've been proud to do. But yeah, today, so I was biking, and I got some food too, and I made the right decision. When you want the sweets and stuff, I wanted a Powerade right when I got out of the gym. And the gym actually had free Cliff Bars today, which is crazy. Not an ad, but man, I like the peanut butter ones, the peanut butter Cliff Bars. The chocolate chip ones are good too, but I don't like to get too fancy with my flavors, to be honest with you. I'm not a guy who likes the wacky the wacky flavors. I'll have the chocolate, vanilla, peanut butter is okay. Some would consider peanut butter like a wacky new type flavor. But I think it's been OG. When you hear peanut butter flavor, does that think, God, I bet you the heck out of that. When you think of peanut butter flavor, does that remind you of older people or younger people? Because I feel like it's a younger flavor. I feel like back then they didn't have peanut butter. It was like chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry back then. Maybe root beer was kind of thrown in there too. But peanut butter, I feel like, was kind of a thing that kind of started uprising when I got older. But peanut butter has been around forever, so I could be definitely wrong, because there was peanut butter cookies back then. So yeah, I had those. I guess that's the highlight of the story. I had some Cliff Bars, but then I came back and made some dinner. And before I started dinner, I fell back into that loop again. That loop of not doing anything, just scrolling. And what I ended up doing was I was like, all right, I put my phone face down and I just stood up. I was like, I said this out loud. I was like, I got to do something. So I made some spaghetti. I watched a video on YouTube how to figure out what's the best one to eat, best video. And this guy looked like he was a relatively really good cook. Here's my thing. Excuse me, I had to burp there. When you're looking for recipes on YouTube, this is my personal opinion, so take it as you will. I look for the food that looks like it wasn't gone too hard on. And what I mean by that, some would say pause after something like that, but if it looks like they're trying too hard and it looks fancy and it has like at least 15 plus ingredients, I don't do it. I go for the simple soul type food, and I look for a certain type of person to be cooking the food. This person's got to be a soulful person. They got to be in a good mood, just lifting the energy up. The food's going to be good. I'm a firm believer in that. When you make food at home, you should be in a good mood because it's you're making it. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's bull," because you ever gone to a restaurant, you see what they're like in there. Have you ever seen The Bear? Dude, I understand that completely, but I feel like that when you go into a restaurant, it flips it. Yeah, they're showing emotion, they're upset in there, but they're trying to get something done for you to eat. There's like a different switch. So I'm not saying it's necessarily okay, but I guess you could just call me a hypocrite, but I know when I like to make my food, I like to be in a better mood. And I'm not saying every chef is in a bad mood either, because, man, the higher up people that are chefs, they take that stuff to another level. I've always wanted to try one of those really fancy restaurants, and here's my thing. Everybody always says, "Oh, I can't go to those fancy restaurants. They're too exquisite, they're too fancy. You don't get enough food." But you feel like the amount of work that goes in, it's got to be good. I don't mind if it's a bite size. I want to try it. Like, you ever had sushi? The best things are bite sizes. Like, oh, I need at least 2 platters full of spaghetti for me to feel good. It's like, okay, yeah, but like right here is like the richest, and there were so many man hours, or hours, I should say, not even man hours put into this piece of food, prepared to the very highest level, and it's got to be good. Or it's just a gimmick, and I'm a sucker, because that could also be very well part of the equation. So, yeah, so I think I want to try a nice sushi restaurant. That's my thing. And I know we're really spoiled out here in the Pacific Northwest. I would put the Pacific Northwest seafood up against any seafood in the world, to be honest with you. It's hard to beat. A lot of people would probably argue no. Like, hey, no way. I haven't heard about it. It's like, dude, the waters that have shared between Alaska down to California, there is beautiful seafood in there. Tasty. We got almost everything in these waters over here. I mean, obviously not the things that are in fresh water. I remember when I was a kid, you'd go to the aquarium and you'd go walk by the freshwater fish, and you'd be, yeah, these are some nice fish. You take that left corner, that right corner, you go see the saltwater fish. It's a whole nother show in there. You got fluorescent colors. You got coral reefs. You got things that are living. They're living differently. They unlock like the code. These saltwater fishes they're on level 10, while the freshwater are on level 1. There's nothing wrong with freshwater fish, but there's something going on in the saltwater. You could tell. Think about a dish without salt and think about the dish with salt. Now, which one do you want? Some people be like, I can't have salt. Well, then maybe you have fresh water then. So people who can't have salt, does that mean they shouldn't be having fish that are coming out of the sea, the salt water? I never really asked anybody that, to be honest with you. It's like, oh man, I can't have salt on my food. It's like, well, this fish came out of the salt water. Are you good? Yeah. I don't know. That's something I definitely want to ask someone who's, so if that's a good question. Anyone who can't have salt, can they have fish? That's salty fish, man. And they're swimming it. They live inside salt. There's some people who couldn't hang. That is a good question. People who can't have salt, like that are allergic to salt, right? Are they allowed to go into the ocean? Maybe. or they just will their way. It's like that video with the raccoons, because raccoons like to wash their food in water before they eat it. They like to kind of wash it sometimes. And, there was this video of these people who handed them cotton candy, and they put it in the water, and he just washed it, and he was just baffled, dude. I mean, I would be baffled too. That would be my reaction to seeing someone will their way if they went into the salt water. I'm like, whoa, my bad. I wouldn't know what to do. So yeah, I ended up making some spaghetti, and it was good. I really like spaghetti. And here's the thing: I didn't grab French bread, and a lot of people will be like, "Dang, Dom, how did you not grab French bread?" They didn't have it at the store, so my overachieving person self in me, I guess, I was like, well, we have yeast and we have flour, right? So I looked up on YouTube, did the whole thing in my head. It's like, they got to be in a good mood. I got to feel the vibe. It can't be too long, can't be too short. A video's too long, it's saying too much. Video's too short, it's not informational enough, or they always leave out the bake time, or they always leave out an ingredient. But you find that good 8 to 12 minute video, because I'm not committing too much time, but it's not too less of time to be not serious. Those are the ones I picked. So I found this one. It was like a French bread, how to make French bread. It was pretty simple, and it was like, you do this and you need this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I have all that. I ended up just looking up fry bread recipes, to be honest with you. I thought I wanted some French bread baguette, or how to learn how to make French bread, and I just ended up looking at old fry bread recipes on YouTube. Oh yeah, this recipe was handed down to me from my grandma. No, it wasn't. It was handed you from YouTube. Don't even give me, I believe a couple people, you could see the truth in their eyes when someone says, oh, this recipe is from my grandma. What recipe was handed down from grandmas or aunties or grandpas or uncles easily. But that one guy who walks in, one lady who walks in to the new establishment, new little party, get together, everyone's like, oh wow, this fry bread's really good, because no one's gonna say it's bad right off the bat. You're gonna have you're gonna have the guys in the corner, which is probably me, saying, oh, my grandma, my grandpa says is the best. That's me in the corner. I'm not saying it out loud, but I'm saying it in my head, or at least to my buddy who I'm cool with. Anyway, there's that one person who's just like, oh yeah, this is my auntie's fry bread recipe. It's like, the auntie you're fighting around with every dang day, you guys are bickering on Facebook. Every time you're hanging out, she's always got to say something about your kids. But she gave you this recipe. That recipe from YouTube, man. We don't got to lie. There's no point in lying sometimes. I catch myself pointlessly lying about random things sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I was there. It's like, I wasn't there. Or, I've made this reference before. Someone's like, oh yeah, I saw him there. It's like, no, you didn't. It's like, what are you getting out of the lying from this? The kids, I give them an excuse, because, you're a kid, you lie about everything. Hey, you brush your teeth? No. It's like, go brush them again. That's the attitude I need to start having with people who lie. Just give it no patience. What I should do, instead of coming on here and on the pod and complaining like I'm doing, is, oh, it's from my auntie. Just be like, nice. But instead, in my head, I got this long podcast rant about I don't know. Anyway, that's what my thing is, though. Hey, and all the people who do actually have the written down recipe, and they put in the hours, the apprenticeship hours of learning fry bread, hey, hands to you, man. Hands to you. But, I mean, being an apprentice in anything, there's specialties to it. You learn. And I definitely think fry bread cooking is definitely, you got to be an apprentice for a while. You got to get your, some people say 100 days. Some people say 10,000 hours. But the people who got those 10,000 hours in fry bread, you could tell. Or at least have done it over 100 times. Because there's, Because I've made it on my own probably 4 times. That's nothing to compare to some people. Some people are making it weekly. How many weeks are in a year? 52. And they're 70, so they make it at least once a week for 70 years. Just think how many times that is. They got some stripes under their belt, more feathers on their headdress. Something. We got to start giving out like little buttons or little helmet stickers or something for these Frybread warriors, dude, because I mean, there's people who have 20 plus years experience in Frybread making. They deserve a badge or something, or to be honored at this point. Oh, it's not a traditional food. Okay, to the woke warriors, I understand. But, you know, if we're just talking from a food standpoint, no cultural meaning, just the food itself. I guess you can't even do that either. You know, what I just said could get, you know, taken the wrong way. But what I'm saying is if you got 20 plus years making Frybread, you got to be on a list or something. A reputable list. You know, I might have to make it here on DJP. You know, shout out to all your honorables. You know, like a credential line. You know, some people got food service handler's card, liquor licenses. I'm at the point now where I've had my fair share of bad Frybread. We're gonna have to start needing Frybread cards, like official certifications at this point, because I've had some bad ones, and I've had to sit there and say that it's good. And that's fine, because I'm a respectable person. Well, at least I think. But that's my new slogan. Frybread certifications, man. That's the new thing. And you can get it taken away too. Like, we're not just because you got 20 plus years, and you get like 3 strikes at that point, and it can get taken away real quick. You know, like say for instance, it's doughy in the middle. That's like a half strike. You know, the oil could be playing with you. That could be the oven's fault. So we'll give you, you know, we'll cancel out the penalty there. You know, but one big penalty, you know, Victor's mom not making enough. That's strike 1 to me. Because everybody got to eat. And you know there's going to be somebody in there who's grabbing more than they need. And I've done it before. Yeah, I did it actually in a sacred place. I was in the Longhouse, to be honest with you, and I grabbed 3 of them. I did. I'm not proud of it, but you know, there was a lot there, and it looks like I waited for everybody to go. I did. I was like the last guy up there. You know, I was bashful, some would say. I let someone. I think I saw someone go back up and get seconds before I even went up there, so I was good. But that's a lie. Maybe that's a lie I tell myself. But when I left, there was still Frybread there. So this is what happened, though. You know, the creators of the Frybread gods knew they wanted to make me feel bad about this. So what they did was, you know, I walked away, sat there, and everyone's like, I gave one of the pieces away. So don't, you know, like I had 2 with me. My girlfriend beside me had her own. I gave one to an older auntie. So that I thought gave me the leeway to have 2. I ate my one real quick, and then I kind of looked to my left, looked to my right. Everyone else had one around me. Then I ate it. But here's what happened. Here's what, you know, I got in trouble for telepathically. I was sitting there, and some lady went up there with her niece, older lady, and was grabbing food. They looked like they got there late. And they walked up, and they're like, oh, there's no more Frybread. I saw them, and I wasn't sitting far. And, dude, my heart dropped a little bit because I had an extra piece. And damn, I'm almost tearing up here. I don't know why. This is a funny story. I guess I'm a moment. So I was legit like, dang, I felt so bad. And as soon as they grabbed their plates, they grabbed the rice, and they grabbed everything. Then the caterer, who, shout out to Ryan's Recipes, he brought in like 4 baskets of it. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Oh, because I sat there and I was worried, dude. I was like, dang, I was that guy who took the last bit. But he came in with big old trays, dude. And sometimes it'd be hiding too. Some people, you know, when you walk into someone's in auntie's house or uncle's house, you're like, oh, hey, is there any fry bread left? You know, you don't want to ask though. You just want to walk up to the oven and just kind of look around, and you don't see it some of the times. It's hiding under these blankets and these, you know, towels in the plastic bins. I walked into one place one time, and I did the walk, and I was like, oh, there's no more fry bread left. Kind of served up my plate, kind of like, dang, I was late. You know, no one likes that feeling when you're like, damn, I was that late and I didn't even get a piece of fry bread. Drove 35 minutes here. You're like, it wasn't even my fault. I was trying to leave early, you know, in your head. This is all in your head. This is inner dialogue. And then someone's like, oh, look under the towel. There should be some in there. Greatest feeling known to mankind. Greatest feeling known to mankind. I swear to you. Yeah, but that's enough about the fry bread, man. That was I can't believe it, man. I teared up a little bit hearing that, because I was worried, because I was like, dang, everyone know I knew I was like the last one in line, and I grabbed the last of it. And but yeah, man, I've been staying busy, and I got honored to help out at Tulalip TV. Shout out to all the guys there, man. They really hooked me up with a good gig over there, and I've been commentating on the Sports Heritage Hawks, and been also doing some camera work, and it's really interesting stuff. And for all the people who I had a couple of people ask, you know, look, see, there it was. I lied. One person has asked me, not a couple. One person has asked me about the plumbing thing, and I applied, and we'll see. You know, that's in the future. I guess they said they'll get back to me in April, so I'll keep you guys updated with that. But as of now, man, today it's been a great day, and I hope you guys have a great one. And thank you for listening. Remember, you guys can always send your voicemails into the hotline, 425-320-3641. Call that number, leave me a story. You know, if you actually are a reputable person, or you know someone who wants a fry bread license, let me know, because I'm going to have to start certifying these people. I mean, I'll show up and try every one of them. I'll show up and try everyone's fry bread like Dave Portnoy style. You know, I'll walk up, try a bite. Hey, man, this is good. You know, I rate this good. You know, no one steal my idea. If you steal my idea, I mean, I don't know what to say. You stole it. But I ain't about that. But anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Other than that, yeah, have a great one. Hoi.